Yeah. I'll put this down.
Hi, I'm Dan.
And I'm Roger.
And we are the Wayward Sons. This is the video version of our podcast.
The Wayward Sons podcast. Two brothers talking about video games, comic books, movies, food, the great outdoors, and more. I remembered most of it.
Yeah, you did.
So we thought for our first video, we'd film from a very special place, a woods we've never been before.
Actually, we are in an undisclosed location, so we can't really tell you where we are. The
Big
best
secret
thing that we can explain to you as to what this place is, well, we call it Bone Mountain.
It's real freaking creepy out here. So where we're at is a forest recommended by one of my neighbors. We were looking for a place to go out camping to shoot this video. And any other place I've camped, it's illegally.
Probably shouldn't say that.
Nah, it's probably fine. They're not going to tell anyone. So I figured I'd, talk to someone that owns property so I can legally camp. So she said, yeah, you can come and camp in our backwoods. So we're about maybe like a mile deep. As we were hiking back here, we just started seeing bones. Just lots and lots of bones. Every 4 feet you walk, bones, right? So we started exploring a little bit. What did we find?
Well, half a bear skull.
Half of a bear skull. I'm going to go get it.
And when I say half a bear skull, it is half a bear skull. That's what it is. It's the... things we've ever seen. And here he has it.
So we went for some exploration, and most of the bones we saw just looked like deer until I came across this, which is literally, seems to be a bear skull that was just cut in half. I don't know. I'm not a forensic scientist. Maybe bears' heads fall like this, just split down the middle when they decompose. I don't know. Anyway, we went exploring more. We found just a pile of cattle bones. And I'll put pictures of that on the Instagram. Just big old cow skulls, just piles.
Ribs, leg bones, everything. Everything you can think of.
If you've seen like House of Wax or like The Hills Have Eyes or The Descent, like the big piles of bones in those movies, that's what this looked like. So pretty creepy fucking spot. And we have to spend the night here, so this might be our first and last video.
I mean, we don't have to stay the night here.
We're gonna stay the night here, is what I meant to say. So, might be our last video.
And first video.
Yeah. So what do you think? Tour of the camp?
Ironic.
Camp tour?
Sure.
All right. It's a very small camp. We got our fire right here. That went in real good. I'm not sure how that looked. This is Daniel's tent. He's very proud of it. Is it okay if I show them the inside of your tent?
Nothing's lit in there, but sure.
Here's the darkness of the inside of his tent. It's very nice. Here's where we dry our shirts. We have our shower / hand washing station. Two sleepy pups.
My dogs,
Yeah.
Ernie and Ruby.
I'm not sure how any of this looks because I'm not looking at the camera right now. And this is my shit little tent. I bought it for $46. It's not very great. And that's it. And here's, I guess, what do we call it? Bone Mountain?
Bone Mountain.
Bunch of creepy, probably Wendigo or freaking hillbilly cannibal bones. All right. So our first topic for our first video, we thought we would talk about what has been the hardest part of starting a podcast / YouTube channel, which is actually choosing the name. So we have a list here of failed names.
Yes.
Want to pull those up?
Well, when I was thinking of names, just thinking of stuff that kind of just reminded me of us and like our friendship. So, Genk the Demon came up. very supernatural reference. I'm a big Dean fan.
I'm assuming if you're listening to the Wayward Sons podcast, you might have probably searched for Supernatural podcast. And you might be disappointed because this really isn't it. I recommend Monster of the Week as a good Supernatural podcast. We will talk about Supernatural like in certain episodes, but that's not what this is about really.
Well, yeah.
So if you're here for that,
we talk about
sorry.
all sorts of stuff, all sorts of pop culture topics.
It's going to be
along with camping, food, whatever, what have you. So,
what else you
into the
got?
next name, we have Captain and Spider.
Yeah.
So we're comic book nerds, Marvel nerds. So I like Spider-Man. He likes Captain America.
I got a pretty bad Captain America tattoo. It kind of looks like it was done in crayon. I got it in 2009, and also did not pay a lot for that, so it doesn't look good. But I am a big Captain America
all
fan.
right.
Thank you. It means a lot to me.
Revelry of Revenants.
Now tell me again what your thought process was for that one.
Oh, it was just cool words.
Because you're not wrong. Those are just cool
It
words.
was just cool words.
Revelry of Revenants
Yes.
is cool words. That's true.
I was probably thinking a lot about The Revenant, that movie, and how I haven't seen the whole thing.
Well, it's really long.
And it's a badass movie.
It's real good. I did sit through it. I wouldn't watch it again because it's something like, 3 hours long?
Probably.
It's a lot. And it's just very high emotional stakes.
Good job, DiCaprio.
Yeah,
Good job.
he got his Oscar for that, right?
No, yeah.
Long time coming. Not the movie I would have given him an Oscar for, but definitely a good one.
But anyway, moving on, we have Brothers Assembled. Obviously, another very Marvel name there.
Marvel-centric.
Marvel-centric, exactly. That's what I was looking for.
A lot of them, we were just kind of thinking the things we like, trying to throw the word brother in there because we thought maybe we wanted that in there. So it's a lot of that.
Yeah. The next one, probably one of our favorites.
Oh, yes. This is
we
mine.
are very big
the-
Rick and Morty fans.
I'm going to say this one because this was one of mine and I'm very proud of it. The Rick and Morty sketch from Interdimensional Cable, just Brothers. We thought of calling the podcast Brothers, Just Brothers. It's just two brothers. So we thought about that. And one of the other things that you don't think of when you're making something like this is copyright.
Yeah.
So my idea was we'd call it that, and that would have probably been fine. But then for the opening intro song, which we don't have any yet, I would want like a remix of that commercial from the episode, but like remixed into a song. Kind of like Hide Your Kids, Hide Your Wife, but the skit just two brothers as a song. But there's all kinds of weird copyright laws with editing things versus doing a cover or something, so...
Yeah, there's a lot behind that, and
we're still not experts on it.
We're not experts.
We Googled it for 5 minutes
At
and
all.
decided it wasn't worth it, so we went for a different name. But I am really proud of that one.
Yeah,
Just Brothers.
Our next name is very obvious. Fireside Chats, because obviously
that's one of
we're
mine
sitting
too.
in front of a fire.
So we're all big FDR fans here, I guess. I don't know. Was he the Fireside Chat guy?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he
Yeah,
was.
he was.
Anyway, so we thought of this on the side of a fire. It's kind of a special place for us. We spend a lot of time at firesides, grilling, just sitting around talking. So a lot of the conversations we're going to have on these are the kind of conversations we would have around a fire. So I thought it would be nice to base it around that. Plus, it's really nice crackling in the background. I thought that would be a nice...
It's nice and relaxing.
Like an ASMR.
Yeah, it's
I don't know if you can hear it, but...
Yeah, it's super... It's chill. Like,
It's good.
It's a nice feeling just sitting by the fire, hearing that crackling.
It's
just
super
sitting
chill.
and relaxing. You know?
What we decided was that it would have been too hard to have a fire every time we wanted to film something or record something. Especially like...
Inclement weather
Yeah.
and etc. Although, we will try as much as we can.
Yeah, it'll happen. Like, it's happening now for the first one. We're at a fireside a lot, so it'll definitely happen. But it was just inconvenient, and then we'd have to, like, insert stock audio of crackling fire. And then we would just...
I don't think we're all about that.
We would just be liars at that
Yeah.
point, so that one didn't make
Well,
it.
our next one was one of my favorites. It was pod culture.
Well, no. The next one is just Fireside. So the first one was Fireside Chats, and then there's just Fireside. But go ahead.
Whatever, man. Whatever.
They were both mine.
Pod culture. Then Taken.
Yeah.
Go figure.
I mean, what's that called when you think of an idea separate from when someone else thought of an idea? So it's still kind of your original idea, but someone else already thought of it. There's a word for it. I don't know what it is.
I don't know.
But that's what happened. We weren't trying to steal the name. He just happened to think of it, but
Yeah.
also someone else did before us. But pod culture, you know,
Congrats, guys. You beat us to it.
like pop culture, but a podcast. I love it.
All right. So we have another one
Ooh.
called Dad Jokes.
So we're both dads.
2 new dads.
I'm a little bit more new. My daughter is like a month old, so I'm still learning.
And mine's just over 10 months old now. So
Uh,
we're still very much learning the ways of parenthood and fatherhood.
And most podcasts try to have a little bit of humor in them. I'm not sure if we're succeeding in that or not, but we figured Dad Jokes might be just a fun name.
Might be a fun name.
Might just be a fun
maybe
name.
We'll even throw in a dad joke
Maybe.
every other episode or so. Keep an eye out for maybe 1 or 2.
Maybe.
All right, so moving on to the next name, I thought of Unstructured.
Ooh, yeah.
Uh,
Do you remember why?
because I kind of figured that we weren't going to have the same structure every time for
Yeah.
a podcast, so Unstructured.
Well, that's the other hard part of coming up with a podcast is figuring out what the structure is going to be. You know, you make a rough outline of the stuff you're going to say. Try to have some kind of... So I think my camera overheated, so if there's a weird cut just then... Is it recording? Yeah, it sure is. It's because I think my camera overheated, so just ignore that. What were you saying?
Yeah, the name we were talking about was Unstructured.
Oh, yeah.
So,
We just thought about having an unstructured...
pod.
Yeah, but
Every time, but
that would
that-
really stress me out.
Yeah, it would actually, I feel, be more work, and
100%.
maybe not as many
Less-
people would want to...
Less quality
like,
content.
maybe not as many of you would want to listen to us, so I don't know.
Like we're
Let us
border,
know if that's something you might be interested in.
like we're getting
Who knows?
borderline quality stuff right now. Just imagine if we put no thought into what we were gonna do before we hit record. So that's
Yeah.
what that almost
I mean,
was.
we're basically already there, but
Pretty much, yeah. For this first one, we're gonna get we'll get better.
eventually. Our next name, moving on, is Super Media Bros.
Oh, that was one of mine. This one isn't very good. Was this mine? If it was yours, it is really good. If it was
I
mine,
think it
it's
was
not.
mine because
Yeah, no, it's really
I was
good.
thinking because we're just talking about a lot of media stuff like that, and like it sounds like Super Mario
Yeah,
Bros.
it's just a play on Super
sort of.
Mario Bros.
But I
'Cause
mean,
we're gonna be talking about video games sometimes. I'm gonna be talking about video games a little bit in a bit.
yeah. So
Ooh, yeah. It's
now we
it's time for a
have
sick transition.
the
So,
sick transition.
so the one I thought of that I was the second most excited about was movie theater butter podcorn. Pause for applause, because one of the things we're going to talk about pretty frequently is movies. Movie theater butter podcorn.
movie buff right here.
I don't know, but we decided to keep that name and use it as a segment name where we talk about things we've been watching or listening to or reading or video games we've been playing, TV shows, movies, all that kind of stuff.
So we're gonna transition into that. So what have you been
Ooh, I'm going to go first.
up to?
So I am on paternity leave for my job, and I have been for the past month or so. So literally all I really have time to do is watch my baby and watch movies and play video games. So I've actually got a lot going on. I started The Last of Us Part 2. So the first one was actually, you said you started
No,
playing
no spoilers, because I'm
not
not,
gonna-
not through the first.
I'm not
one
going to
yet.
do any spoilers, but you did say you started the first
I
one, right?
did.
Okay.
I did start it.
So no spoilers. I wouldn't do that anyway to you because I don't know if you've played it yet. But the first one was one of my favorite video games of all time. Gameplay-wise, story-wise, It's just all around phenomenal. One of the best games
Dude,
I've ever
I'm
played.
super frustrated with that game because
It's real good.
Mandy, my wife, actually told me to play it because she's too scared to actually play it. She's terrified of zombies.
There's a lot going on. That gets scary.
And I chose to play it on hard, which
that's
is
a mistake.
Which is a
I don't know why
mistake.
you would do that.
I like to challenge myself, but this might be a little too much challenge. I find myself a lot of times kind of taking longer to get through certain stuff just because it's so hard.
The good thing about this game is that it's not all about challenge. It's story driven. It's just got a good story. That's what keeps you coming.
So
but the
far,
gameplay's
it does
really
have
good,
a
too.
very good story. I like it.
I think I played on like medium or easy. But anyway, the second one, just as good, maybe even better. It's super brutal. It's not a spoiler to say that I was listening to another podcast, and I'm going to steal their content. They were doing some research on it because they were playing it as well. And I guess the creators who did like the effects and stuff looked up what actual injuries and stuff would look like. Like if you bury a hatchet in someone's head, they Googled and looked like what a hatchet in someone's head would look like. And then they recreated that for the game. So a lot of the gameplay, like sometimes it makes you feel bad when you kill people. And I think that's something unique for a video game. Also, I finished watching The Office. I don't really have a whole lot to...
About time.
Everyone's already seen The Office, so I'm not going to say a whole lot on that. I'm the last person to watch it. Just say that if you haven't watched it, watch it. It's a really, really good freaking
Really
show.
funny.
It's really
It's
good.
great. It's
I went out and bought a Dunder Mifflin shirt.
Good.
I didn't tell you that. I bought a Dunder
I
Mifflin
want a Dunder
shirt.
Mifflin shirt. I just haven't bought
I got
one
it
yet.
at Target. So,
What?
yeah, it was real cheap, $12.
Wow.
They had a Shroot Beat Farm shirt, and they only had one left, and it was like an extra large. And I didn't buy it. I should have gotten it for Mel, for my wife, Mel, for a sleep shirt. And I told her about that when I got home, and she was mad at me that I didn't buy it. And then when I went back, it wasn't there. But I got a Dunder Mifflin shirt. So I've been watching The Office. I started Ju-On Origins, which is real good. I'm going to talk about this. More shameless plug. I have another Instagram and YouTube video stream called The Cabin Cellar, which is mostly horror. It's all horror stuff. It's not mostly horror stuff. 100% horror stuff. So I'm going to talk about that on there.
Horror fan.
Big time. I watched The Umbrella Academy Season 2. I think better... maybe as good as Season 1. It's if you haven't seen it, it's a real good show. It's kind of like a lighter version of The Boys, except it's nothing like it.
All right.
That's my expert review on Umbrella Academy.
Anything else?
Yeah, like I said, I've been doing a lot of stuff. I'll do one more. I feel like the video is going to be too long if I list everything. I have been catching up on the My Hero Academia manga. Dan's not a big anime or manga fan, so he doesn't know what I just said. But if you're My Hero Academia fan and you're a fan of the show and you're waiting for the next season to come out, it's going to be a little bit. But the manga is like probably a whole season ahead from the show. So if you go and read that, the one complaint I have is that sometimes the action in the manga is a little bit hard to follow with the art style. But like I said, you have no idea what I'm talking about.
No.
I hope some of you out there are manga fans, anime fans, because I'm going to talk about it.
See, we're best friends, yet we still differ.
I actually have a good video idea, playing short anime clips for Dan, and then him trying to explain out of context what he thinks is going on. That's going to be a later video. That's not today.
That might be pretty epic.
What have you been watching?
Lately, I just watched for the first time Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection, plus Alien versus Predators and Alien versus Predators, what is it?
Requiem.
Requiem, that's right.
Did you watch Prometheus and...
No, I wanted
one?
to watch Prometheus. I actually started to watch it because the whole movie was on YouTube, but the quality sucked. So
I'll loan it to you. I have it. I have all the Alien movies. I have the new one too, Covenant, Alien Covenant, which is more closely like similar in tone and structure to the older ones, and that there's actual aliens in it, kind of.
I mean, like, they're good movies. I mean, Alien 3 was good. Alien 4, I thought, sucked.
So notice he said he watched all of them except the two best ones.
The two good ones, because I've already seen those.
Alien and Aliens are the
when I was
ones.
about 10 years old, my brother thought it would be hilarious if we watched Aliens. and I couldn't sleep for years because of these things.
That, you know what? That's what builds a horror fan, though. Because that's what happened to me. That's
Yeah,
what got me hooked.
I mean-
I was watching like The Shining and Pet Cemetery at a way too young age. Friday the 13th really fucked me up when I was a little kid. That's how horror fans are born.
The worst is the face huggers. It's
Yeah.
the worst.
It's-
The most disgusting, violating.
It's very
things
phallic.
ever.
That whole movie.
Yeah.
And that's not just me saying that. I think Geiger, the guy that designed the aliens, I think they were purposely like really phallic in their like head design and just
Yeah.
all over. I think that's
saw
true. Don't
something
quote me on
somewhere
that.
about how they first made like the egg sack and stuff for the movie,
Just the
and they
word egg
literally
sack.
made it
I
out
like
of
it.
like sheep intestines and stuff, like real sheep intestines. Like, can you imagine what that smelt like on set?
You know what though?
Like-
It was probably cheaper than making a good looking egg sack. You know, if you can get
True.
sheep's intestines, then
True.
all
But
you have to do is
still
find a
gross.
weird cattle boneyard and take a cow intestine.
Yeah.
Just use that.
if
They could have gotten it for
there's a
free
fresh
out here.
one.
Yeah, I'm surprised. There were no fresh ones. It was all bones, to be clear.
All
There
bones.
wasn't, which is weird. The whole thing's weird. I'm weirded out by it. I was talking about it for like 20 minutes after we came back.
And here you are talking about it.
I'm still
again.
talking about it because it's that's weird behavior. I feel like if a cow dies, if you have a cow and it dies, and it might have been horse skulls, we don't know. I'm not a forensic scientist.
Yeah, we're not
But if you
skull experts. For all we know, this skull here might not even be a bear. For all we know,
it's something. It's got like a canine tooth.
But
it's either
it
a
is
bear or a wolf.
sawed in half.
It's sawed in half. But like what I'm saying is, if you have a cow carcass, I'm pretty sure there's people you can call to get rid of that. I don't think everyone that has cows dumps their dead cows in a forest in a big pile. That's weird. That's weird behavior. We also saw just a big chain of little like bear traps. I don't know. It's
Well,
weird out here. They were
small
smaller
game
than bear
traps.
traps. Yeah, probably for coyotes, I imagine.
Coyotes, anything, small rodents.
What else you been watching?
I've been watching
Got off on a tangent there.
lot of a YouTube channel called The Outdoor Gear Review. Shout out to Luke and Susie. You guys are awesome.
Good on you,
Just-
Luke and Susie.
Just because
we are,
I
but-
was preparing for this camping trip, I actually bought my tent and our water filter system based on Luke's reviews. So thanks a lot, guys.
The thing that I love about Dan is that when he gets onto something new, he will research that shit hardcore.
I've always been that way. I will just research the crap out of it until I know all the best stuff.
Like if there's something he's interested in, he will know what he's talking about it. Me, on the other hand, I go in a lot half-assed a lot of the time. Like I.
Question time.
Oh man. Good morning.
Good morning.
We're back from camping. We're both very tired, so we're gonna get through these questions real quick. The first one we have from our Instagram, the coolest _animals_ever wants to know what inspires us, why we decided to start the YouTube and podcast. So it was your idea, really. I'll give you all the credit for that.
was your idea originally. Yeah, I thought it was. I thought it was originally your idea, but I reincarnated your idea.
Oh, I don't remember having the idea.
Yes.
But I do have a lot of good ideas, so it's not surprising to me.
Wow, that's something. But no, yeah, I just thought having a podcast would be awesome.
Yeah,
You know?
for fun.
For fun.
There's no
see where it goes, you know?
Yeah, there's no great inspiration behind it. We just thought it'd be a fun thing to do.
Exactly.
And so far it has been.
Yeah, it's been fun so far.
Number 2, from Instagram as well, Watch It Wombat, very cool name, asked, what movie did you hate and then enjoy on a rewatch? So for me, I'm going to say Venom. The first time I watched it, I think I went in with a bad mindset because the Sony stuff, besides the new Spider movies, hasn't really impressed me very much. So I was kind of thinking a Sony Spider-Man movie not connected to the Spider-Man universe with a character, Venom without Spider-Man. I wasn't really too excited about it. So the first time I watched, went in with a bad mindset. But then when I bought it, because I buy all the Marvel movies regardless, I rewatched it. It's not bad, and Venom looks cool. So
He does.
He looks good. And he's part of the MCU now, apparently.
Maybe. We'll
Yeah,
see.
I think that's what they said.
Maybe.
Do you have one?
I mean, I have more often the opposite happen, where I like a movie first, and then
You get thinking about it.
I get thinking about it, and things don't make sense.
So sorry about that. My phone's acting weird. I think my storage
Again.
is full.
Fucking Apple.
Another episode of the Great Debate is going to be Android versus iPhone, apparently.
Yeah.
Because apparently my phone sucks.
I've had no issue.
And is garbage. Alright, our last two questions are from both our wives. They're very supportive. Dan's wife, Mandy, wants to know if we could camp anywhere in the world, where would it be? I think it would be cool to camp in, like, Antarctica or something. Someplace real shitty.
Someplace
It would be real
shitty.
hard. Just so that you could say that you could do it. It wouldn't be fun probably while you were there, but then you could tell people, like, I camped in Antarctica overnight. What did you do? Just be a real bitch about it. Be a real asshole.
See, I would go the opposite spectrum, and I would like to camp somewhere.
A Florida resort.
No.
That's the opposite.
At, like, someplace near the Rockies, maybe Colorado or something for the views.
That is the opposite of Antarctica.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's got nice views and stuff out there, the mountains and all that.
No, I think I want to camp anywhere as long as I'm with my pal.
Aww.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's really nice.
That's cute.
This one's from my wife. The question is, if you had to fight...
Melanie.
My
That's
wife,
wife
Mel,
Mel.
yep. If you had to fight any one cryptid, what would it be, and with what weapon? So I think the obvious choice is a jackalope, because it's pretty much defenseless. And I'd probably just use a hammer, right?
Sounds good to me.
Because pretty much any other cryptid, it's going to kill you. Like, if you try to fight a Bigfoot, unless you have, like, a rocket launcher, you're going to die. If you try to fight a Wendigo, you're going to die. Yeah, I'd hit a jackalope with a hammer. It'd be real easy. I feel bad.
I would say something a little more exciting, like a werewolf.
What weapon?
The big knife.
Werewolf, the big knife. Silver?
Yeah.
Alright.
Why not? Big silver knife.
So if this becomes reality, I'm going to have to find a new co-host.
Yeah, because I would probably do
Yeah.
Don't fight werewolves with knives.
So that's all our questions. Sorry if we seem very tired. Because we're very
we are.
tired. I don't sleep well while camping. I have a very cheap tent, and I don't have any kind of padding, so I was basically sleeping on a pile of sticks. So I'm not well rested. All right, you want to do a fun sign off? I'm gonna
Sign
say
off
it too.
time.
Ready?
Carry
Carry
on.
on. And that's the end of the video.